Hello, welcome to Wednesday Night Chat with Nick. Hello, everybody. Good evening. I got myself a haircut this morning. I like this hair. Sometimes my barber cut it a little bit too short on the top. He is 79, so that's understandable. He is so my barber actually he's 78. My bad. He looked great. Okay, for 78. His mother is still alive and she's 95. But I always enjoy going to my barber once a month and let him cut my hair. And sometimes he cut it too short. I don't say anything. And today, this is about as good as it get. Um, End of November. I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to hold a chat today because my internet has been so crappy today. In fact, if the picture freeze up and the chat went kapoof, you know why. Because something's wrong with the internet. It has been very spotty today. I have rebooted my router before I start the chat, but we'll see. We'll see if it will survive. Let's see. It's Wednesday. Um, Typical new comic book Wednesday. Not for me. Occasionally, people ask me, "So, what did you pick up today at the store on Wednesday?" In fact, I has not been to my local comic book store in over 2 months. I just don't have the will to go there because I'm not a big fan of my store. The next time I go, I will do my best to ask the person behind the desk to let me shoot a quick video to show you the inside of the store. It's a huge store, okay? Square footage wise, I would say this one is uh over 2,000 square feet. If I had to guess, around 2,000 square feet. It's pretty big, you know, but about 1,500 square feet of the store is devoted to gamings and other things that are not. The back issues area are woefully horrible. And knowing that I am a huge fan of buying back issues because it is so bad that I just don't have the desire or the will to go there because there is nothing to buy, especially on back issues. And half the time when I go there, because I don't buy a lot of things and I don't have a pull list because I don't want a pull list because I don't buy anything regularly. Half the time when I go there to try to pick up something, they don't have it because they order I think just barely enough for the pull list that if anybody if a few customers decide to hoard and buy multiple copy or something because it's hot, then there's nothing, so yeah, half the time when I go there, there's nothing there to buy. Not for me. What's left on the rack are stuff that nobody cares. Hello, Dr. Vanchilla. um but so I have not been to a store in quite some time. Yes, Odin. There's only when I first moved to Sarasota. I have been living here now for 12 years. Okay. When I first moved here, there was three. Okay. And one, the one that exists now, has always been there, but it was a lot smaller. It was in a space that was maybe 900 square feet. Hello, Monk's Den. So it was like 900 square feet. There was barely a few table, for gamers, role-playing games. And then there's another store that is about maybe 700 square feet in size, and it has it has more back issues. Half the store was back issues, half the store was off the rack, and then they have some Dungeon and Dragon stuff, little figurines for sale, but that was it. That store was the first one to go out of business. A huge bummer. I enjoy going to that store. And it has, the back issue area is woefully inadequate as well, but at least it has twice, if not three times, the size of back issues compared to the one that still exists. And then the third one is odd. The third store that was in Sarasota, I knew the moment that I moved. Hello, Carl, Henraz, hello. The moment that I moved into Sarasota, I knew that store is going to go out of business, the third one, because it was located in a hot part of town. It's located right on the most commercial street in Sarasota, where all the fancy shop, all the fancy restaurant is a hot spot during the weeknight for dinner, especially on the weekend. It's packed on the weekend. So it's kind of out of place. All around that store was fancy, high-end boutiques, women dress, and fancy restaurant. And here you get this little hole in the wall comic book store. I just couldn't see how that place can pay the rent, because this area was up and becoming, and I'm sure the rent was skyrocketing. And I told my wife when I first moved here and went to that store, I'm like, this store is not gonna make it, because based on the traffic that I see, there's no way it can cover the rent. And I was right. It was the first to go out of business. And what makes this store odd is that there is no new issue. It's purely back issues. Purely back issues. And when you go into the store, it's not like they have long boxes. It's weird. It was strange. They have shelf and shelf and shelf of back issues, but it was kind of laid flat. And I remember going to the store, I'm just like, this would be so hard to browse through the back issues, because everything is stacked like this. You had to take the whole stack out of the shelf and then trying to flip through. It was bizarre laid out. Yeah, so yes, that went out of business first. Vincenzo, hello. Rez, I finished the label. I'm not going to show it to you. It's going to be a surprise. I want it to be a surprise, but I got your address. I got, I'm going to keep it as a surprise as far as how many I'm sending you. But I will ship it to you the cheapest methods. So don't expect it this weekend. Today is Wednesday. If I'm lucky, I will have everything packed up this weekend and mail it to you. So sometime next week. My guess is maybe midweek or the end of next week, you will receive a little package from me, and inside will be the slab with your own personalized label. Dr. Von Schiller said, I just came home with some beer. That's what I need. We ran out of, I forgot to pack more beer in the house for Thanksgiving. So when I had my Thanksgiving, when we host Thanksgiving dinner here last week, we ran out of beer. Yes. So I need to stock up. I don't drink a lot. I don't drink often. In fact, I don't even drink weekly. But when friends come over, when friends visit, I like to put a 6-pack in the fridge and share a beer or two with my friends. My wife does not drink. My wife drink nothing. She does not drink even wine. I would drink a glass of wine here and there when we go out for dinner, or even a beer. And if I go to a Korean restaurant or Japanese restaurant, or I will get a beer here and there, or a glass of wine at the Italian restaurant. But at home, I don't want to crack out a bottle of wine and then drink the bottle by myself. Oh, John said he has something to mail me. Speaking of which, John, I also have a package to go to you, my friend. I'm just been so busy. Well, I have been busy packing up and shipping to the few people that bought those Batman Copper Modern books from me. So I was able to ship out all the package, and everybody received those books and are happy with them. So I might do more of that. Okay, now that I have done a small round of selling on YouTube, I might consider do more of that. Okay, the key word here is might. I'm not promising anything, and sometimes it's a lot easier to sell the higher value, higher price items to Comic Link, consign the books to the big auction house. It's easier. I don't have to deal with buyers that might flake out on me. Yeah, Dr. Vanchilla, I got a package I put aside. Well, actually, I had a little stack that I put aside, some items that I think you will enjoy. Some of these items I had in my collection for a long time, but I figure you would enjoy them more than me. I need to, speaking of those Batman book, John, I need to redo another video because one of the buyer changed his mind. So I sold half of those books and there's still half left. I will do another video. Well, instead of like do another video to sell those half, I told my friend, he said he's okay with me not selling them right now. He's not hurting for money. It's just things that sit in the closet that he just wanted to clean up. But now that it's in my house, he's happily not having to deal with them at his house. But what I would do is, instead of making a video right away to try to sell the remaining half that I still have, I will wait until my slab come back from CGC. For those that have been following my channel, I submitted 16 slabs to CGC the week before last week. When I get those slabs back, I will do a video and offer them for sale right here on YouTube. And at the same time, I will bring out those remaining Batman books to resell them again and see if I can get rid of them this time. Hello, Rebel Comics. How are you doing? You got here early today. Usually you show up near the end, but today you show up at the first quartile. AG Surfer, yes, I'm looking forward to see the result of those books too. I just checked CGC's website, and they are almost there. Okay, I sent them fast track. Okay, for those that need me to do a video to explain the different tier at CGC, I can do that. But I figure I don't need to do that because you can go on CGC website and read up yourself. But I went with I had to go with three different tier. I had to submit 3 different invoices because I submitted some magazine. Well, they consider the Teenage Mutant Ninja 1 and 2 a magazine, so I had to do a separate invoice for that. Each invoice cost an extra $5. Okay, so I could not put all 16 books into one invoice, one form to submit. No. I had to break that up into 3 different invoices and pay an extra $5 per invoice. So one invoice has the 2 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. One invoice I had to put in the expensive books because CGC charge more for more expensive books. Even though it does take, even if a book take the same effort, the same time to grade, they charge more. So for like the Hulk 181, the Hulk 181, Iron Man 55, and what else? There's 3 books that go into the more expensive invoice because they deem to be worth potentially more than $1,000 or $1,000. And then the 3rd invoice is where all the cheaper books go, where they go less than $1,000. So I had 3 different invoices. Look like the Hulk and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle are getting close to being done. It's graded. Okay, the book has been noted as graded, but the grade has not been revealed yet until they are they slap the books and all that stuff and go through quality control and verification, all that stuff. So as far as the status of the books, the Hulk and the magazine are just graded. I won't find out the grades until maybe next week. At the same time, the rest of the books are getting close to being graded. They are in the process of being scheduled to be graded. So within 2 weeks, before Christmas, okay? So hopefully, yeah. My plan, my expectation when I submit those books was having them graded so that I can pick up before Christmas. So hopefully within the next 2 weeks, I will have a big show and show off those 16 slab. It's going to be fun. I have high expectation on a lot of those books. I watch Love and Hip Hop for my reality TV. I think I have seen the show, Raz. I think I have seen Love and Hip Hop. At least one of the episodes. I'm not, I watch some reality TV. I just these days there are just so many things on TV. Okay, so many that I just don't have the time to watch everything. I finished binging through what was it? Give me a second. I just finished a British show the last couple of days. It was decent. I will do a video and talk about it. What's the name of the show now? It's a British show. It's on Netflix. I think they just loaded like a couple of days ago. It's one of those shows that only have 1 season. It has maybe if I had to guess, maybe 8 episodes. It's a crime thriller. Odin asked, anyone watch Chef Table on Netflix? Yes, I have. Not all the episodes. I have seen some of the episode, Odin. On it, what is it that I watch on Netflix? Give me a second, folks. Let me look. What was it that I watched over the weekend? I'm tempted to watch The Crown, but we'll see. You know, The Crown is one of those shows that, you know, usually it's not my cup of tea to watch, but, you know, I have a feeling that if I watch it, I will enjoy it. What was it that I watched? Dang. I'm telling you, getting old and losing your memory is pretty sad. Some of the things I don't remember is just shocking. I just watched the show yesterday, and now I'm like, I don't remember. Oh, the one show that I need to watch the new season is The Fall. Okay, I saw the first 2, and I think the final season is just loaded on Netflix recently. I like that show. It's a really good show. Man, it's frustrating. It's frustrating to watch something just a few days ago, and now I literally cannot even remember. And sometimes Netflix is guilty of messing up with my history of what I watch. It would have been easy to go into history. Orphan Black is pretty fun. I was able to watch everything. I can't wait for the final season. I believe the next one is the final season, right? Well, for the life of me, I cannot find it. If I can find it during this chat, I will talk about it. Otherwise, I will definitely do a review of the show I'm talking about. Speaking of a show I watched on Netflix the last couple of days is the movie Contact. If you enjoy alien contact movie, but not invasion, if you are a fan of, say, the movie Arrival, if you like that kind of movie and you have never seen the movie Contact, it's on Netflix. It popped up on my Netflix recommended list a couple days ago, and I watched it 2 days ago. I watched the movie Contact. It's the first time I saw that movie in a long time. It came out 19 years ago. I saw it twice. I saw it when it first came out. I saw it again when I think on DVD, but that has been at least a decade ago. And then I watched Contact again 2 days ago, and it's a good movie. It's a really, really good movie. It held up very well. You know, it did not. Nothing seemed out of place. The special effect was still pretty darn good. The acting is, of course, top notch with Jodie Foster. Can't go wrong with Jodie Foster. But man, what was it that it bugs me that I cannot find the show that I watch. Damn it. Not The Killing. I did watch The Killing long ago. Decent show, The Killing. Oh, Brooke is here. Sorry, Brooke, I haven't seen you. Goomba is here too. Hello, Goomba. Hello, everyone. Brooke say, what are we talking about? We are talking about British TV show, Brooke. I saw a show on, I binged through a show on Netflix over the past 3 days, and I was going to do a review of the show, but for the life of me, I cannot remember the name of the show. And for whatever stupid reason, Netflix decide, yes, a big brain fart, a big one, not just a mild one. I mean, I just saw the last episode yesterday. I cannot. It's a British show. It's a spy. It's a crime thriller. Dang it. I just have way too many things on my Netflix recommended screen. I'm thinking about watching The Crown. Has anyone watched The Crown? Not Happy Valley. The show start out with a murder in a park, Brooke. So if that ring a bell, let me know. It's a murder in the park in a little town. How is it disappearing from my Netflix screen? Annoying as hell. Well, anyhow, Nick, can we do a live vid about River? One of these days. Broadchurch. Oscar Eureka said Broadchurch. For whatever reason, it's a major brain fart. Okay, because I just remember now. Paranoid. Has anyone watched Paranoid? That's the show I'm talking about. Yes, Black Mirror is another one of the show that was on Netflix recently. I have not watched it. I heard it's decent. Like I said, these days there are just way too many good TV shows to watch. But I saw Paranoid. I enjoyed it. I probably will do a short, spoiler-free review of the show, just like I did with the 3%. I think overall people will, for the most part, it's a decent show. It's about the acting, the characters that are good. As far as the mystery, I can tell you, halfway through the episode, I figured it all out. As in most, it's as much as I like to be surprised the way my brain works, halfway through the fourth or fifth episode, I'm just like, I know who the guilty party is. I know what this show is about. I know what this crime is about. And I was right. So I enjoyed it, not because it's surprised me in any way. I enjoyed the show because I think the characters and the acting was decent. So yes, for those that are looking to watch a decent crime thriller mystery, Paranoid. I have not seen Orange is the New Black last season. I watched the first 2 seasons, maybe 3. For sure, the first 2. So if there's 3 seasons, then I have not seen the third. If there's 4 seasons, then I have not seen the third and the fourth. It's okay. Yes, the Matthew McConaughey true crime series is really, really good. With Woody Harrelson, that's only a one and off. They have other season of True Detective, but it's a different team. Every season, from what I can tell, is a different team, different group of actors, different storylines. Brooks say that The Crown is great. I don't need to binge. So cinematic, and the actress who played the Queen is so convincing. All right, Brooke, I will trust your comments and I will watch The Crown. I have seen the trailer for The Crown. It looked interesting. I'm always reluctant to watch any kind of British royal related time piece, but every time I sit down and watch it, I enjoyed it. Just like The Tudors, I was a fan of the series The Tudors with Henry Cavill. And then as well as even the movie, I remember years ago when Elizabeth with the movie came out, and I'm just like, I don't want to go see that movie. But when I went and see the movie Elizabeth, I love it. So for whatever reason, I'm always reluctant to go check out a British royalty related TV or movie, but I have always been pleasantly surprised. So yes, Son of Anarchy was a good series. To me, Son of Anarchy was good, but at the same time depressing. In that, in many ways, I wanted the. I'm trying not to spoil it for those that haven't seen it. In many ways, I wish and wanted the main character to change, to be a better person, instead of following the path that he desperately tried not to be. So in many ways, that kind of bummed me out, because as I watched the series, after, it's always a little glimpse of hope that he's going to be the better person, but then he wasn't. And by the end, so I'm looking at this. So far, I haven't seen Ray Berry. Hello, Ray Berry. Man in High Castle is awesome. Okay, I did my review on Man in High Castle when it came out. The second season, Ray, is coming out this weekend, right? I believe December 2nd. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe I saw something somewhere that's saying the second season is coming out in December. So, in fact, The Man in High Castle, the second season, is on top of my list of binging. Oh, December 16th. I gotta wait 2 more weeks. So far today, chat is all about binging. Nothing about comic books, all about binging. If you tune in to hear me talk about comic books, you will not hear it. Not yet. Okay. By the Hoary Host of Hoggith, Brooke. So, Brooke, did you buy those 2 books that you asked me about? Hopefully, if you pay the asking price for the grades that those 2 books are advertised, I think you get a decent deal. Okay, might even get a bargain. Let's see. But one of the things that I get a lot of private message and email from other YouTuber here and there is looking for things. If you are looking for certain things and you like me to help you looking for those things, I am fine searching them for you for free, if you want my help. Okay, I have done this with a lot of people. I have a good track record of tracking down things for people. And often when people ask me to look for something, I will keep my eyes out for them and find those things for them, so don't be shy to ask. It's nothing wrong with asking. Just don't have high expectation. you know it's I'm always I have a lot of good friends that I search books for them whenever I have free time and have nothing to do. Whenever I go on eBay, I don't mind putting in a few search here and there. When I check out a dealer's website, I always look out for those particular books or title for them. But at the same time, have some patience. Okay, that's the name of the game. You can't, say, Nick, I'm looking for this book, and then 2 days later, ask me again if I find it. Sometimes it takes weeks, sometimes months. Be patient. Well, Brooke give the thumbs up. Maybe is that yes for you buying those 2 Silver Age Spider-Man? If so, congratulations. Are you being served? Huh. That's an old British show, right, John? That was the show that was on PBS for the longest time. I'm trying to remember, the name. If it is, then I enjoyed the show when it was on PBS. Let's see. Dan Lichter, where to find original Colon art? Have you looked at all the dealers? They tend to have some of those things, like Romita Man, Roy, I think. There's a couple of dealers that are fairly big on original art. You can also look at Anthony's, another dealer that's also have a big presence on eBay. But the best way to look for original art, Dan, is go to comicartfans.com. Okay, there's a website that if you type in comic, one word, okay, this is one word, comicartfans.com. That's where a lot of collectors, dealers load pictures and scan of original arts. And in that website, there are also a section for sales. Whether it's eBay or Heritage or Comic Link, it's there. It's all linked into, for the most part, I think, linked into this database. So if you search Gene Colan at comicartfans.com, you will see all the pages that are out there and who own them. You can certainly solicit some of these people. I have. When I see something, even Bernie Wrightson has posted many of his works on this particular website for sales. So it's pretty good. Yes, so Dan, for sure, check out comicartfans.com. I'm there right now. Let me look. Gene Colan. It's in my search memory since I search Gene Colan often. Let's see. I saw Daredevil, Dracula, Night Force, Firestorm for sales. Ooh, some nice looking one. But yeah, I see a lot of Tomb of Dracula stuff, Captain America stuff. Let's see what else. I'm gonna search Howard the Duck for you. Howard the Duck. Uh-huh. Let's do Howard the Duck, Gene Colan. Howard the Duck, Gene Colan. Okay, I saw a whole bunch of pages here for Howard the Duck, Gene Colan's. There's a whole bunch of them. Whether they are for sales or not, that's a different story. Okay, so for sure, I recommend that you go to comicartfans.com and run a search on that. I don't think anything is for sales, but let me see. Ooh, not for sale. Okay, yeah, what a beautiful page. Yowza. No wonder it's not for sale. Yeah, there's a lot of eye candy there. So I can't recommend highly enough for you to go there and check it out. Yes, guys, I can't recommend enough. If you're a fan of original art, oh, speaking of original art, I can give you a hint slash teaser to what I won on Heritage last week. Okay, I hinted that I won something, and it will probably come in the mail between now and Christmas. I can tell you, the hint is it's not a comic book. Okay, that's all I'm gonna give you as far as hint. It's not a comic book. So you can deduce on what it is that I won. You just have to wait until the package arrives to see it for yourself. Hello, Robert. Yeah, there is. I think Dracula easier to buy or find than Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck is not an easy page to find. But if you go, look at Gene Colan, Dracula, let's see. Let's see. Oh, my goodness. Not cheap. Wow. Some beauty. There are some beauty. You just need to cough up the big buckaroos. On if you go there, there's a page where Dracula is fighting Blade, and it's sold by Anthony's. So there you go. Hello, Sean. GPAP. Yes, I was looking for original art of Gene Colan and Howard the Duck, and they are not easy to find. And so we're looking at Tomb of Dracula instead, and they are cheaper, more affordable, because Gene did more pages of Dracula than Howard the Duck. Robert Finnefrock is also looking for. Goomba asks, Nick, do you use microchamber paper? The answer is sometime. If I buy something that have microchamber paper, I don't throw it away. But I have never bought any microchamber paper to put in any of my books. Okay, if I crack out a slab that have microchamber paper, I keep it in there. If I buy a book and somebody else, the previous owner, used microchamber paper, I keep it in there. Other than that, I don't really see a huge benefit of microchamber paper. I have talked about this in many topics, in many videos, in that I'm a firm believer, until proven otherwise, that microchamber paper have very limited benefits. Okay, it can and will absorb from the direct paper. For example, a lot of times you see people put like CGC, they put microchamber paper between the cover and the splash page. Yes, the splash page and the cover benefit from the microchamber paper, but beyond those two pages, like the centerfold and other pages, I don't believe microchamber paper is going to absorb anything much from other pages. If you want total protection, you might need to put microchamber paper between every page. That's what I'm saying. Okay, there has not been enough studies to prove one way or another that microchamber paper is somehow going to preserve a book. And the one thing that everyone can agree is the best preservation of a book is keeping the book in low humidity and cool, dark environment. That's a sure way to preserve a book long term. Okay, it's not about having microchamber paper. You can have a book with microchamber paper and toss that book in the attic, and in 5 years it will turn to yellow. So, microchamber paper, the benefit of microchamber paper is so overstated. Okay. Dr. Von Schiller asked, isn't microchamber paper supposed to be swapped out every decade or so? That is another discussion where, once again, there is no scientific study done enough to show that microchamber paper loss is efficacy. Efficacy, is that such a word? Something like that, where it stopped working. So yeah, who knows? Okay, who knows? Classic Conic Point asks, Nick, what was the first key book you ever bought? Oh, wow. First key book. I would have to say the first key book. Oh, for sure, it's Bronze Age X-Men, because when I started to collect in 1981, I was so obsessed with X-Men, so obsessed with the Byrne run, that if I had to pinpoint which one, it probably one of the early, I don't remember exactly which one, but it's definitely one of the key book in the Dark Phoenix saga. I'm pretty sure it was either the death of Phoenix, X-Men 137, or the issue where she first turned into Dark Phoenix. But that would be because I remember back in 81, 82, those was some of the very first back issues that I bought. Yes, Goomba. It's nothing If anything, placing the micro chamber paper between the covers and the splash page or the cover and the last page of the book, it certainly will help absorb anything that's bad for, well, absorb many bad things for the covers. So is the covers going to get the benefit? Absolutely. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, oh, don't do it. But at the same time, let me repeat and point out that one of the greatest, if not the greatest pedigree, the Edward Church pedigree, the Mile High pedigree, where some of the most beautiful golden age books were kept. They were white page, pristine, as if they were pressed right off the press yesterday. They were kept for 30 years without micro chamber paper. Okay, so you tell me, why would anyone need micro chamber paper if you are living and storing your books in the optimal environment, which is low humidity, low temperature, and darker places? A nice closet in a cool room will maintain that book for a long time, compared to having micro chamber paper and the book is sitting in a hot, humid garage. Okay. Amongst then, X-Men 101. X-Men 101 was something that I didn't buy until later, because you got to remember, back in 81, when I started buying back issues, more like 82, X-Men 101 or X-Men 94 was way too expensive, way too expensive. I bought those later, much later. I bought them, X-Men 94. Most of my X-Men, as far as like the more expensive one, like 94, 101, were bought more around 1989, 1990, my first year out of college when I have a real job. Yeah, for sure, I did not buy anything that are $50 or more expensive until after my college years. Up until that point, I think the most I would spend on back issues is paying $20 for a book. Yes, Brooke, no backs and board either. That's why, I can't stress enough. And this story is not new. Okay, the history of the Mile High pedigree, the Edward Church pedigree, is not new. Thus, I always bring that up as an example of how book can be preserved without micro chamber paper or mylar or acid-free backing board or any of that stuff. Okay, time and time again, you don't need that stuff. It's just extra stuff. You want to spend your money on that, fine. But trust me, for someone like me who has bought thousands of back issues, I have bought 5,000 books from a guy that didn't even keep his books in backs and board for 30 years, and they were white pages. So every time the issues of micro chamber papers and mylar and mylights and full acid backing board came up, I would never say don't do it, don't waste your money. But at the same time, I always throw in my comment that there are many other factors that help preserve a book. Don't overlook those factors. Okay, don't overlook those factors, because a lot of people make a mistake of like, oh, I have it in mylar and micro chamber paper, so I'm just gonna toss the book in the garage and it'll be okay. No, it's not okay. Yes, John, the David collection is you know incredible books that was never backs and board. And then there's another collection before the David collection that has 5,000 books, and it's the same, if not even nicer than the David collection. So that's why I have never been a proponent that you have to have micro chamber paper. I just look at the time. It is 7:51. In 10 minutes, it's time to go. So if any questions, feel free to write them in, and I will do my best to answer everything until I turn into a pumpkin in 9 minutes. Yes, Brooke, a shame that your dad collection were not kept in better condition. Yep. Yes, John. You've seen those books on how nice they are, okay? And when I bought them 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago, I bought those books 14, 15 years ago. It's been a long time. They were not in backs and boards. So you figured out those books came out in the late 70s. So from the late 70s to early 2000-ish, you're looking at 25 years. They were kept in boxes in a room. Not even cool, but it was dark. I was told it was a dark room. And the box was closed. The lid was closed. So that's how they were preserved. They may not have bone white pages, but it's an illustration of how books can be preserved when it's kept away from air, dust, sun, heat, humidity. See, that all the factors that age paper. For those that want to geek out on how paper age, look up, do some, Google up how paper age, and you will find out what causes your comic book to turn yellow or tan or brittle. It's sun, air, dust, humid, all that stuff, heat. Avoid all those things, keep them away from those factors, and you will have my high quality white pages. Hello, Matt. Mike, Brooke, the answer is no. The Tarzan book that you got, that white page, that came from the 5,000 book collection that I bought before the David collection. Okay, that's the collection I'm talking about, where I bought 5,000 bronze books. From that collection, Brooke, I had 909.8 slabs. I submitted an insane amount of books to CGC back in 2009 and 2010. Yes, I got a whole lot of slabs, 9.8 white pages out of that collections. Yes, AG Surfer, Vampire Collections. Let's see. I saw Matt. I can't say about your question about Batman 635 First Red Hood. I heard some discussion on that, but since I don't have the book, I can't tell you with any kind of certainty about that book. And I don't really speculate on modern books. So I wouldn't know about how hard it is, how worthwhile it is to invest or speculate. I'm way out of my league when it comes down to modern books, hotness. Can you have too dry of an environment? Um, you do not. Um, when I talk about low humidity, yes, you don't want it to be too dry. The reason why you don't want the storage room to be too dry, because then it can make the paper, I believe, it can suck the moisture out of the paper and make it more brittle. Okay, so it's not a good thing to store it too dry. You don't want it to be bone dry. There are a certain level of humidity that is optimal. You can Google it. Google up on the optimal storage environment for comic books, and they will say it. You know, it's they tell you like, I think you need to have X percentage range of humidity. You don't want to be bone dry. Trust me, bone dry is not good. Look like we have some idiots on the live chat just in time for me to say goodbye. Um, anyhow, it's 7:57. Time for me to 7:58. The clock just changed. Instead of wasting our time dealing with the troll that just show up, how fitting that his avatar is a troll. Um, time for me to say goodbye. And next chat would be, of course, Sunday. Hopefully, I will have. If I find out the result from CGC, even if I know the grades that will pop up online, I might save it. I might save the suspense for the episode where I bring the slab home. Okay. All right, folks. Good night. Time to say goodbye. Don't waste your time with the trolls. They do pop in and act like a bunch of fools. Feeding them will only make them want to come back. Bye.